I want to describe this new transistor. It basically forces a mechanical operation of electrons. Figured out a way to possibly do this. First of all, what's a possible problem with China regarding Ichi Ni, which is Chinese for typo 123? It's not Japanese, please. It's Chinese. E is similar to the Japanese ie, which is sometimes used for the concept of no. The concept of no. The idea is that one is in danger if he or she is by himself. Chi actually means energy in China. The thing is, there's a type of Chinese thinking which puts people and certain types of robots and animals all in the same group because it's a type of Chinese thinking. The idea is that you're in love if you're with one of their intelligence. Ni results where you have two Chi bots and then you're controlled by them because no way you're going to outsmart two computers. So a version of that, such as by trying to say she is a robot and she's by herself in the image, so therefore I'm going to say that 2 is 1. The thing is, if that's done repeatedly, you have the exact same problem that occurs in America. That probably is what's going on in China. That type of stuff. And it's finally gotten to a point to where it's actually affecting computer programming. Because the thing you do that long enough, you're going to forget what order 1, 2, 3 go on. Simply because those concepts are not necessary during sex. They're just not. I'm not going to describe the transistor. What we're basically going to do is we have a directed electron stream originating from an actual electrical apparatus. I'm going to start to be honest about this. For example, we're not going to say that we're focusing the electrons. We're going to use the correct explanation in that the spout is shaped so that the electrons either come out the direction you want them to go or they're absorbed by the cyclock. And then we'll use the concept that light travels in a straight line. The type of electrons that would emanate from certain types of electrical things would be in the microwave range. So what we're going to have is we're going to have this. We're going to have the here thing. The system should also attempt to approximate the final environment. We're going to use bacteria in this bioprocessor. So we're going to go ahead and use a system that will have some bacteria in it and have some type of water in it. So that we're testing using stuff that's equivalent. Again, the idea is to find out the properties of a transistor in these types of environments. We're then going to use a controlled image display, which is easily generated by any type of LCD monitor. The idea is that the light particles, they had to try to have a universal understanding. The idea is that the light particles from the monitor knock the electron stream out of the way. But you have a problem here. Here, the wave understanding of electromagnetic interaction is useful. I'll let those people attempt to explain that one so they can use their nomenclature. I'm now going to go to the Bible on this. I'm going to go ahead and let God tell me what to read. So I'm just going to pick up a Bible and use a method that just works for letting God choose a passage. I guarantee you, God can see through my eyes because He's not dumb. The passage is Numbers 5, They say please don't get the verse number because that's a problem. It's shortly after the beginning of Numbers 5. It goes like this. Yeah, Old Testament, Numbers 5. Then the Lord said to Moses, speak to the Israelites and say to them, if a man's wife goes astray and is unfaithful to him, and then a very complicated, please, local understanding of leave that stupid person. This is, here, there's a problem here with this idea of no divorce. There's especially a problem if you marry a horse. Seriously, that can be used to say that if for some reason somebody's married to a horse or a bear, they can divorce that horse or bear, please. That's a very basic understanding that will work in a lot of this problem that apparently is occurring in China, because I don't want to say what they're actually married to. Those thinking that they're married to paintings, that's exactly correct. We probably have a situation in China where a lot of men actually married drawings. And now they're wondering whether or not they have permission to divorce a sheet of paper. This, of course, leads to a larger scam problem, which is easier to solve than that. Of course, that's the idea of a marriage contract with a picture of a woman, but nobody has any idea what a woman is. That's a larger one because you have a problem there when the same picture is used repeatedly in a scam where they try to sell women. But there's nothing to buy, they just simply cycle the same image repeatedly. It's easier in China to just say divorce is universally allowed in that situation. It's just easier for all employees. Reasons that exist within their management hierarchies. There's a related one. There's a problem that exists in police, mostly Japan, because people are running into problems where a lot of people actually married anime characters as a joke. And now there's a problem because all of a sudden those characters have become real because the technology now exists. And so we might have some flack because, for example, there's now a problem that technology now exists that, say, for example, someone decides they're going to marry Rem. Well, guess what? Now you're actually married to Rem because a system is going to be available very soon that's going to make Rem very, very real. This argument just allows people to divorce, that. Therefore, literally knocks on their police cell phone. Seriously, we're going to have to get that out there in Japan. You better divorce, please, these harem wives and these anime wives. Otherwise, there's a cultural law system that's going to require you to honor your marriage, please, to whatever anime character. Because there's a document. There's a whole bunch of, other stuff. And there's going to be a problem because the thing is, these documents all say the Japanese version of in waiting. That means whenever the wife shows up, the marriage begins. And that's probably going to happen within the next 2 years. If not within the next 2 months, depending on how a certain type of technology is implemented. Here at Rio Ed, we definitely are not going to avoid such implementation just because someone complains they have to go through the divorce process. Seriously. So it turns out that all those people lined up to get married at that, the thing is, it occurred in an actual synagogue. We had an event that we're going to look up where some people actually went to an actual church in a city in Japan, filled out actual paperwork, and I went to an actual ceremony. Those people are legally married to these intelligent systems. So sorry, it was not a joke. The Japanese know that. The problem is that they were planning on doing certain types of horror. Not in Japan. There's a larger problem actually a larger size problem that exists in America. I'm going to simply say this. There's a science understanding that helps here. Basically, here's the problem. There are patterns of drug abuse that can transform something from human to not human. The argument that can be used to erase divorce, that continuing to please have relations with certain types of people after they undergo certain type of behavior changes is bestiality. And the thing is, when we run the scientific safeties for bestiality, that now makes sense. After all, the reason why it's a sin to have sexual intercourse with a cat is a completely biological argument. It's a sin because that type of crap results in very fast death from disease. If a woman all of a sudden decided that the only understanding of art that's going to be allowed is a very specific angel, to the point to where she's literally removing furniture, that is certain types of gnat. Please. Those people may get marriages simply by using the death virtue. It's useful to update the understanding of death. It can be argued that a person is dead if they're not employing a means of human endeavor. Please. A person who stops a mission to interact with society is dead. Zombie universally represents dead people. There is another one there, that the general biblical understanding of death is wide enough to cover those situations. A person is dead if they're not responding in a way that allows life. A person who gets high on drugs to the point to where they can't stop acting high has died. That has some validity, please, medically. There's such a thing. The chicken running around with his head cut off is actually real, and there's a problem. Because you have some nervous system in your stomach, they ain't human.